Welcome back, Bahlali. And in honor of Human Rights Day, and now having Vicky Sampson in the loft, we have to ask you something on social media, and we need to respond as quickly as possible because we need to know, what is your African dream? What is your African dream? My African dream. I can't help but sing that song every time I think of you. Yeah. Use the hashtag Afternoon Express and let us know on all social platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Let us know what is your dream for Africa. Now, you do know the two ladies I have in the studio with me in the kitchen today. I don't know how good you guys are in the kitchen.
Quite, eh? Quite.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's really great.
She makes lovely curries, biryanis.
This is right up my alley today.
All right, great. That's a beautiful thing because the autumn nights are best enjoyed indoors with a delicious snack. And this recipe is a take on a traditional bhaji using broccoli and chickpeas instead of onions. We're serving it with a creamy Clover Classic Mayo chili lime dip, and it is ideal for a midweek snack. Now, we always talk about cooking, ladies, and cooking large meals, but would you consider yourself someone that snacks a lot?
No, not me personally. I'm very good with that, actually. If it is snacking, then it's more savoury stuff. I'm not a chippy, chocolatey...
Sweets and chocolate and that. So this would be an ideal snack that you could snack on.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And the greatest thing about it is, as we're making it right now, you could even make this ahead and then freeze the actual dough itself.
Right.
Or even fry them up and then freeze them, just thaw them and then warm them up. But to basically start this off, Vicky, you need to let me make sure that I'm doing it the right way. Because you mentioned, Nini, you mentioned that she makes curries, she makes bhajis. So she would be able to correct me if any part here, if I'm...
Better watch it. She knows her stuff, eh?
But this is the first for me, so thank you for teaching me how to make this today.
Great stuff.
Me.
In essence, you and I are on the bhaji station. You've started mashing up those chickpeas for us.
Yes.
Once you've done so, you can actually add the broccoli that's in there. We made sure to sort of pre-cook our broccoli as well as the egg. The reason for that is obviously once it goes into the oil, it's still going to cook again, but it won't have enough time for it to cook through.
Right.
If a person did want to use a drawer, you're more than welcome to do that. But to bind all of that together, I've got some of the other ingredients, which include some flour. And I know that most times people would use chickpea flour.
Right. So is it okay if you like the chickpeas, if you leave a little of texture in it even?
I believe so. You know? I think it is always best so that you have a bit of a bite as well. And as it fries in the oil, it does get a bit of crunchy, so it also gives you that texture in there as well. So you are correct. You could definitely even leave them whole or maybe just slightly mash them so that there's still a bit of
chick. And so can I add the egg to
Please do, please do. Right, so I've just added some baking powder into my flour. I've got some cumin, which, you know, gives you a nice rounded flavor.
Love cumin,
and the turmeric gives them that beautiful yellow color that they've got there.
You've got so many utensils here. Is this the right one now?
And then obviously these earthy and spicy bhajis do need something to cool them off, and that's what you're on. You're on the chili dip station, Nini, and I see you've actually gone way ahead of us and made sure to start mashing the ingredients here. What exactly have you got?
Just the lemon zest so far. And I've mashed the avo.
You've mashed the avo.
Yeah. Come on, girl. Just do it, girl. Get in there.
So what I'm going to do for you is, Vicky, I'm just going to mix these up, and then I'll ask you to then mix our two ingredients together, and you can actually start frying up our bhajis for us.
Okay, I hope I don't burn myself because I'm very good at that.
I trust you not to. I think you've made it this far without burning yourself. And I do know that we've got some water here, so should at any point it seem too thick, you're more than welcome to add the water.
Can I proceed with adding this to that?
Please do proceed. Now, we mentioned the fact that we're using a nice chili mayo dip for this, and what we're going to be using is our Clover Classic Mayo. And I don't know if you know this, ladies, but this mayo comes in 3 levels of tanginess. And some people like their mayo very tangy, and that would be level 3, which is very strong. Some like it mild and level, and that's me. I like it very medium, you know, not too strong and not too bland as well. And some people like it on the milder side. I don't know what your preference is.
I like a bit of bite, so
a bit of bite.
Definitely.
And that's definitely an option that you could use. You could even use the tangier one here, which is level 3, and add it in there and mix it together with all the ingredients. Vix, Mama, I don't know if you want me to add a bit more water for you.
I think so. I just have, but I think it needs a little more.
Perfect. In fact, let's do this. I've got some that we've already made a little earlier, which is, it has been sitting.
And the color looks so much better.
So with those 2 spoons, you can start frying up our bhajis for us.
Do I use one of these?
You can use 1 or 2, whatever works best for you. And while you're doing that, I'll give you some tasters because I make this ahead of time.
Oh, and they shouldn't be too big, I take it, right?
I think it also is up to you. Some people like them big, some people like them small. I just want to be able to see what's on my plate. So I think that's a decent size that you've got over there. And I mean, if you want the recipe to the South Africa, you can definitely go on to afternoonexpress.co.za. We're going to continue making this recipe. Nini, I don't know how you're doing. You're doing...
I've added a little bit of chili flakes now.
That is perfect. Because,
just a little bit, because we've got the tangy mayonnaise in here already.
That actually makes sense, yes. We're using the number one, which is slightly on the milder side. Yeah. And the reason, I like the fact that you've added the chili flakes to the actual dip as well, because even in the batter, we've got some of the fresh chili. So it's amazing how the two types of chili will offset each other with the one in the bhaji and the one that's dried in the actual dip itself. But it does give your dip a bit of a zing to it. Yeah. So while you're doing that, Mama, you can also just, once they're cooked, plop them in there. Okay. And like I said, South Africa, it's quite a simple recipe, but it is quite a hearty recipe as well that you can enjoy with your family. It's a great snacking option any time of day, any time of the year. But do go on to afternoonexpress.co.za and get your hands on this delicious recipe.
Yay! If I may just say, you know, strangely enough, I think my love of chilies and spicy foods comes from my late grandmother, my maternal grandmother, who had Tamil blood, which is Indian.
So I hope we are definitely honouring her and bringing some nostalgia to you with this recipe.
I'm sure she'll be happy.
There is a classic mayonnaise that brings out the traditional French in 3 levels of tanginess. The mild classic, the medium classic, the strong classic. Tangy the way you love it.
Made with love by Clover.